Okay, so left hand one was here before, quite narrow, hands forward, so we're de-lofting the club for 1. We're adding more of the leading edge of the shot as 2, and that's going to cause you more to dig it. So if your club, when it comes into the sand, is just coming down that way, there's not much energy going that way to the target.
Yeah.
So you've got to whack it so bloody hard to get it anywhere, or hit probably about a 3/4 of an inch of sand to 1 1/4 inches of sand to get a perfect shot. Otherwise, not enough, and it pings across the green out of bounds, or too much, it barely gets out the edge of the bunker. So you were getting out, but you weren't having much control of consistency in terms of distance and how far it's going to go. It was like, it's coming out, so it's okay. So if we can get you a bit wider, look at the club face now, look at it more face to target, okay, face open, and the shaft now, as we can see, is a lot more neutral, kind of pointing towards your belly button there, okay? Yeah. And I would position that as you're setting up to the goal. Don't sort of put it forward there and then go, hang on, back to your belly button, and you'll start turning the club face left. And that's
no, you need to get set up before,
exactly. Or the club's the number one thing you get set first anyway, so make sure we get that correct, okay? Just be careful. The ball is probably left of centre anyway. You had a couple that were going too far forward.
Yeah.
If it gets beyond and towards your left toe, what you could find is the club hits the sand behind the ball, exits too early, and then it's coming out with the ball's back here somewhere, and you are just sitting it across the green.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to take more sand, hit more sand back here, exit here, still thin it.
Yeah.
So always look at that draw we did with the rake, just put the line down the middle there.
Yeah, I like that.
Enter before, exit after.
Yeah.
And you're looking for, as I said, a size, 10.5 or whatever your shoe size is, okay? A size 10 divot, nice and shallow. And the key thing is, by being a little bit lower and sort of get those shoulders square again, which with the driver, it gets your path a little bit more towards target. With this one here now sort of getting quite sort of steep and choppy, bit of a chop across, so there's not much energy. The divot's sort of going way left. Yeah. The ball was barely coming out. What you'll notice on this is the club's overtaken the ball. That's how weak the balls come out, you see.
Yeah.
So on this one here now, a lot shallower and a lot wider, that ball's disappeared. It's gone, you see.
Yeah, see
much more.
Yeah. It's worked with the driver.
Yeah.
We've got that fucking moves to it.
Yeah. Well, the shoulder alignment for me is going to be key with a lot of shots you're going to play. Putting as well, even bunker shots, because the direction your shoulders kind of point will dictate both the path and the angle your club swings on. So if you're open with your shoulders, or the ball's too far forward, or you're manipulating somewhere, or you're trying to lean left side by locking a leg and bending one and getting all this way, you're going to get very choppy across it. So all your energy then is going to be going long and low left, rather than going more towards target, okay? Yeah. So be careful with these shoulders, okay? But again, get that rake in the line, just hit 10 swings up and down that line, enter before, exit after. It's a simple little drill. You can just find where's your low point in the swing. Ideally on that line's where your low point wants to be. So if you can get, shall we say, 6 inches before the line, 6 inches after, size 12 sort of divot, your margin of error then is anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 inches behind the golf ball. That's huge. Yeah. As opposed to, I must hit 1.5 inches behind the golf ball. Because if you hit 1.76 or whatever, or 2.3, it's coming out nowhere. Yeah, if your divot is not a variable in terms of how far the ball's going to go, it's one less thing to worry about. Yeah, it's going to come out the same sort of distance with a sort of a variation of 2 to 6 inches. Hey, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, you're not worrying about them trying to hit the precise amount of sand.
Yeah, you haven't underlined that bit at all.
Exactly. And if you then think, oh, I've got to hit the sand at this amount, the first bunker shot you play in the day, you hit too much sand, it doesn't come out, then the next one, I'll take a little bit less, and doing. Then you're saying, good night, Vienna, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Well, clearly it does matter to your point how far you are behind the ball.
Anything from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. I played some of my best bunkers. I was almost 7 inches behind the golf ball. But as long as the club was still travelling under the golf ball at the point of contact, not the point of contact because the club doesn't make contact with the golf ball, but as long as the club is travelling under the ball in the sand still, it doesn't matter. Okay, I mean, depending on what sort of type of shot you want to play, obviously.
Sand that moves the ball.
Exactly. Which is why your club face can be open or square, because the club's not making contact with the golf ball. It's sand, isn't it, you see? So you're trying to basically get a cushion of sand to come out on the ball, but that cushion needs to be long and thin, not a big lump of wad going through your left foot. So,
no, absolutely.
Make sense?
Super, mate.
Super.